Welcome back to the Namida's Recycle Bin level solving commentary video series. And today we're going to be finishing up the remaining 6 levels of the Step 9 rank. And we are starting off with Doomsday Lemmings 211, The Stranger's Van. Yeah, not too difficult of a level. There is a zombie guarding the exit who is a pre-assigned climber and floater, so he's an athlete. And we also have a floater pickup here as well. So we send out one worker lemming who will bash, and then we block right behind him. Build over the gap, of course. And then we're gonna go ahead and bomb here in order to make a turnaround point for the crowd. So now they are safely contained between the blocker and this wall right here. Alrighty, and then after picking up the floater pickup, we're gonna go ahead and dig down here. And then after some time, we're gonna go ahead and platform up the gap here. Okay, turn him around with a walker, bash on through. And now we just build to get over the blocker, and that's it. So this basher was our sacrifice, and then same thing with this bomber, and also this blocker. So those are our 3 losses allowed. And then another zombie would just fall off the bottom of the lower here. Yep, and that's it. And then, of course, max out the release rate. So yeah, the main challenge here is just dealing with the zombie guarding the exit. But once you find a way to deal with them, then the level isn't too bad too difficult. Ooh, this one, Doomsday Lemmings 212, Illuminati. Illuminati. Ooh, I'm having a really hard time saying it. Yeah, this one is a pretty difficult level. This one took me quite some time to figure out. For the Doomsday Lemmings 2 pack that I played recently. By the way, there's a pre-placed Ghost Lemming here. So we're gonna go ahead and start by assigning him a climber, who will climb all these steps. Okay, pass through the eye here. And then we're gonna go ahead and mine. Okay, and then once the mine is through, we're gonna go ahead and build in order to make a platform for the crowd. For later when we release them. And we're gonna go ahead and assign a glider to the Ghost Lemming so that he survives the fall here. He will climb up all these steps and make his way back to the right side. Okay, platform up the gap here. Then we're going to go ahead and build. And then remember that ghosts ignore objects, so therefore the trap will not trigger and kill it. That's important because, yeah, he still has some more work to do here. Okay, and then we platform at this spot here. And then it touches the terrain here, so therefore he will be able to come back to the right side, where we will use the miner builder combo. And yeah, this looks like a hole in the terrain, but it is not. Yeah, it is part of the terrain. Yeah, which means it is solid, so therefore the Ghost Lemming will not fall and get interrupted. And then just this little bit that the miner shapes off, yeah, it is enough to help the Lemmings be able to step up and go to the exit later on. And then, yeah, I think I just wait for the Ghost Lemming to pass on by first, because if the Ghost Lemming happens to be here and some Lemmings are still coming over to the right side, then some of them will turn around and then fall down here and get trapped with no way out. And we cannot afford that, since the bomber is our only loss here. Yeah, so there we go. So observe, yeah, this passes by just at the right time, so it does not scare any of the Lemmings away. So yeah, it's quite a nice level, but it's a very, very difficult solution to work out and figure out. Doomsday Lemmings 213, The Fortress. Yeah, somewhat of a difficult level here. But this one features the zombie on death gimmick. Let no them live. Yeah, you could definitely do a lot of neat things with zombie/ghosts in very early versions of DDLII. And the horror set is just perfect for those types of levels. You know, just having the horror aspect of it and everything, which ghosts and zombies tend to be associated with. By the way, we go ahead and bomb, so that we get through the terrain, which also turns the bomber into a zombie. But now he's just going to fall into the water and drown, and be out of the Lemming's way. Then we're going to go ahead and bomb here, in order to create a ledge that the others can fall in, and then we're going to go ahead and platform up the gap here. And this is the maximum step up here, so of 6 pixels. So send up a climber and also make him a floater. Yeah, and then go ahead and build over the gap, of course. And then I believe that a lot of this is just waiting for the climber floor to come back to like bridge up the rest of the gaps. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of long waiting and everything. So certainly a perfect candidate for time skipping here. Yep, and then one more time we need to wait for the climber floor to come on back. Alright, and then around the middle we're going to go ahead and dig down the one-way wall here. Okay, and then here we're going to go ahead and bomb the digger. Okay, at this time we need to go ahead and send out another floater, climber/floater. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and build twice so that we can get over the top. Oh. Yeah, and at this time we're going to go ahead and use the diggers to get through the pillars here, starting with the second one from the left. Alright, go ahead and bomb here. Now that he's a zombie, he's just going to climb out of this pit and then fall into the bottomless pit here. Yeah, at this time, I'll go ahead and send up another climber. And then, because we have no more floaters, we are forced to dig it down this pillar. Oh. Yeah, and then eventually I start sending out 3 climbers. So it's still spy high by the time I start sending climbers, but by the time they reach the top, yeah, the fall will no longer be a splat fall. Yeah, go ahead and bomb here so that we can get to the bottom area here. Okay, zombie will fall through the bottomless pit, and then the next one behind him will build. Yeah, and then at this time the crowd is released. And then go ahead and bomb through here, and then this builder will also be lost. Yeah, because now he's going to run into the zombie and turn into one himself. But that is okay because we are allowed one more loss here. Yeah, and of course there's some timing here in which yeah, the zombies are out of the way. Yeah, before the crowd arrives too early and gets infected. So yeah, it's already taken more than 14.5 minutes. Yeah, due to the long waiting. Yeah, for the climber floater to come back and forth each time. Okay, and then block right here. And then finally bash on through it to get to the exit. So even though he gets stopped by the wrong one-way arrows, yeah, the next column has empty air, so therefore the lemmings are still able to step out and get to the exit. But really the only thing that needs to change here is just the positioning of the basher. Yeah, you do it at the right spot, then this should happen so that they are able to get to the exit. Okay, and then yeah, I just nuked the blocker, but and that also turns him into a zombie, but that's okay because everyone has already exited by that time. So therefore there's no risk of anyone turning into one. Alright, Doomsday Lemmings 2.14. Ah! Real zombies. And from what I remember, I do not interact with this pre-placed zombie down here. Yeah, at least that's what I did in the Doomsday Lemmings 2 pack. So we go ahead and platform up the gap here. The next one that slips on by will be a glider. Okay, and then also stack right behind the platformer. And yeah, in early versions of Neo Lemmings, even at the default release rate of 1, yeah, one lemming will slip by the stacker. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and build with the glider down here. Yeah, and then these 2 lemmings on the right side of the stacker will stay put. Okay, and then go ahead and platform in order to reach the button here. That's the only button below, so now the exit is unlocked. Okay, glide to reach here. Platform up the gap. Okay, and then dig here. Now he's just going to go to the exit. Mine through the chain here. Okay, bomb here. And yeah, I also forgot to mention that there's a zombie on death gimmick here. Okay, and then finally build to get over the stack, and that's it. And then max out the release rate. Yeah, the zombie will get past the exit and will fall into the acid and get fried up. Yeah, like so. And then that's it. So yes. So it seems like here I do not interact with the pre-placed zombie as well. Doomsday Lemmings 2:15, Lemming and the Chocolate Factory. So, you know, a reference to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, and I definitely remember watching the Gene Wilder version, yeah, back when I was in elementary. A really good film, and yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. Okay, and there's a splitter with the entrances. So send up a climber to the left. Platform to get over the trap. Yeah, this trap here. And one platformer is enough. Okay, dig here. Or dig here, sorry. Send up another climber. Yeah, who would dig here? Okay, turn him around with Walker, and then just bash through, and he will exit. Then platform to the one-way wall here. Okay, bash on through. And then platform up the gap. Send up a climber to dig through here. Yeah, and then finally build to release the crowd, and that's it. Yeah, and the digger removes all the terrain, so that will allow the lemmings to get over here and fall down here. And yeah, there's a pre-placed ghost lemming here. But yeah, this appears to be a pretty bad background because I read the solution I used in the Doomsday Lemmings 2 pack is far more impressive than this. Yeah, where I do make use of the ghost lemming. So yeah, this appears to be a pretty bad background I found. And believe me, yeah, the solution I found in the Doomsday Lemmings 2 pack seems to be intended. Yeah, because it is far more impressive than the one that I found here. Where it really seems that I just skipped the main parts of the puzzle. And then finally, Doomsday Lemmings 2:16, Lemmings of the Underworld. Okay, and there's a Ghost on Death gimmick here. Okay, send up a climber. Okay, dig here. Oh yeah, and then at this time, I'll go ahead and send up another climber. And this is how we're going to get our Ghost Lemming. Yeah, by spotting. So by this time, the Ghost Lemming has turned the digger around to the left. So now we're going to go ahead and bash. Okay, and then bash to the right now, and then platform up the gap. Okay, platform so that the ghost can turn around, and then we're going to go ahead and build here. Okay, mine through the one-way wall. Mine through the bone. Collect the stone to pick up. And then platform with the gap. Doesn't seem that the mining was necessary here. Oh, no, it is necessary. So that we are able to come back to left and then mine the crowd out. So nope, never mind. Okay, mine the crowd freed as I mentioned. Now the ghost lemming is coming to where the crowd is. So everyone will turn back to left and flee from the ghosts. Okay, and then finally I use the ghost lemming to platform up the gap, and that's it. So now the ghost lemming will come here and fall and splat and be out the lemming's hair. And I do believe I was able to save everyone in the Doomsday Lemmings 2 pack. Yeah, I don't think I had to make use of a ghost lemming here. But I could be remembering wrong. Yeah, even though I played it recently. Alrighty, so with the Doomsday Lemmings 2 rank finished, that brings us to the step 10 and final rank, which is NLI, standing for Neo Lemmings Introduction. Yeah, or if you wish, Neo Lemmings Intro. So it's a introduction pack that Namida made for early versions of Neo Lemmings, and there's several versions around that's available. So two of them are by Namida for the very early versions of Neo Lemmings, and then the one that's currently maintained is by Icho, yeah, for new formats. And there's still plans to expand the number of levels, since there still need to be levels made with the 5 new objects that were introduced in Neo Lemmings version 12.13. But so far, none of them have been made yet. But you know, that's okay, since I know that Icho is a very busy person, and it's not like there's any rush to like get the levels done for it anyway. And so yeah, because we're in the new rank, we're gonna go ahead and make a stop here. And so tune in next time when I start covering those at the 10th and final rank of New Meters Recycle Bin. And confession here to make, and that is I apparently forgot to press the record hotkey before I started doing the video for the final 6 levels of the Doomsday Lemmings 2 rank. So yeah, that was pretty unfortunate, and that's apparently the first in a very long time that I forgot to do so. But luckily it was only 6 levels, so it's not a huge pain until I re-recorded and everything. But anyway, can't do anything about it, so yeah, that's my loss. So we'll make another stop here. So tune in next time for when I start the 10th and final rank of New Meters Recycle Bin. With this, hope you enjoyed the video of the level solving commentary video series, and I'll see you all next time.